to the veterans and the troops, thank you for everything that you do. Y'all don't get enough credit, but I'm so very grateful. We wouldn't be able to be who we are and be in this country without y'all. I'm forever grateful. Thank you so very much.
Indeed. Well said, Jimmy Butler. Welcome back to The Jump. The mayor of Heat Island, Amin Elhassan, still with us, so we figured, we got a guy who worked for the Heat, a guy who would love to have worked for the Heat. We'll take a look at how the reigning Eastern Conference champions in Miami should handle this upcoming offseason. They do have significant financial flexibility, but, that 2021 free agency class, more appealing than this one, so we expect them to make shorter deals. They've got free agents of their own they've got to contend with, too, though. Goran Dragic, Jay Crowder, Derek Jones Jr. Fizz, you know this organization as well as anyone. What should be their top priority this offseason?
Well, I think they got to prioritize those guys right there and figure out which of those guys need to be back into the roster. And a lot of it has to do on price. A lot of those guys can make some good money out in the free agent market, and it's just a matter of can they come to terms with them, find the right price, because they all fit, right? Obviously, they all fit in. This team was right there to win a title. But in this offseason, other than that, don't chase shiny things. Wait.
Right.
And because it is a destination location, your team has already proven that they can win with what they have. Those young guys are going to be that much better in 2021, and they could go big game hunting, and no one's better than Pat and Spo and Mickey Arison when it comes to that.
That is certainly true.
Yeah, if you could get these guys on one-year deals, fine, because you have to leave that space open for a guy like Giannis coming in. I mean, obviously you got Bam coming up, but you have to leave your options open. You don't want to sign these guys to long-term deals because they're older, the guys that we're talking about, Jay Crowder, Dragic. Although they're key to they're the success, you don't want to ruin what you have in store long-term. You have a young team, you can develop Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, Nunn, he's still there, and you got Jimmy Buckets. And so this team is built to be good for a very long time.
Yeah, it's funny because we talk about, especially Goran Dragic, here's a guy that they have his full bird rights. They can pay him up to the max if they want to. And I'm not saying he's a max player, but if Dragic is a guy that you want part of your program for years to come, the way you make sure that happens without jeopardizing 2021 cap space is you overpay him for this season. And then that way, kind of the wink, wink, nod, nod is we'll maybe get a discount on the back end. The other thing, and Paul brought up Bam Adebayo, who's up for his extension.
Right.
If I'm the Miami Heat, I have to have a very serious conversation with his agent. Look, Bam is our future. We love him. We think he's a max guy. But I can't give him that extension now, because if I do, his cap hit next summer will be much higher. So what do? We do the same thing the Spurs did with Kawhi Leonard. We let him play out that last year, and then as soon as free agency hits, we give him the max deal that he was going to get anyway. It's just an accounting thing, just so that we make sure that we keep the maximum amount of cap space out there to not only go after Giannis, but whatever other free agents might make themselves available.
Just an accounting thing is easy for you to say because you are not the one possibly in line for $28 million. And there's also, by the way, the complication of Bam Adebayo's agent is Giannis Antetokounmpo's agent. I want to show you some numbers, right? And you just brought up that contract extension. So they can either give it to him now or they can make him wait till next offseason. ESPN's Bobby Marks tells us the salary hold that Bam would count toward the cap as a restricted free agent just over $15 million. So if they extend him now, that hold would be his first salary of his new deal would be that $28 million, which would be too big a gap to then sign someone like Giannis outright next summer. They could still do some sign and trade stuff. They could still do some other stuff. Look, here's what I learned from Pat Riley. You have the superstars. They will make it work somehow. They made it work with LeBron. But still, it definitely puts them in a more disadvantaged position right next summer. However, if you are the player, there is definitely something to the fact that, you know what? You guys figure that out. I am owed this money. He could get hurt.
Right.
Other things could happen to him. The world could change. We just saw that with coronavirus. The cap could shrink. All kinds of things could happen. And there is something to be said for Bam Adebayo. I think it is perfectly okay if he has that conversation, as you say, with the Heat, have that conversation with his agent, and Bam says, you know what? I'm actually going to take my money now, and you guys figure the rest out. I don't think anybody could blame him for that. You mentioned the Kawhi Leonard situation. Maybe there were some bad feelings by the way the Spurs handled that. We don't know. We don't know what happened in San Antonio, but clearly something happened because he's not playing there right now. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.